Hello, my name is Martin Stepek and I am a teacher of mindfulness. Mindfulness is a very powerful, very profound set of practices that's based on keeping your attention in the present moment. And that's something that's quite difficult for most of us because the mind wanders, we worry about things, we get annoyed about things, we get distracted frequently. So the practice of mindfulness, bringing yourself back to what's actually going on in the present moment, has a deep effect on the mind, both in the short term and in the long term. In the short term, it can de-stress you, it can allow destructive, unhelpful, negative emotions to fall away and be replaced by a calmer, quieter mind that can then better decide things. And in the long run, an awful lot of evidence based by research on mental well-being, depression, stress, anxiety, by some of the world's leading psychologists, neuroscientists, Harvard University, Oxford University, places like that. And they've shown that in the long run, mindfulness brings you to an ever-increasing state of contentment with your life, regardless of how your life actually is. A stronger sense of calmness and resilience, a sense of kindness and compassion towards others, and a clarity of thought so that you're clearer about what you want to do with your life and what you have to do with your life. So it's got a very long term, very constructive effect in most people's lives. And we do it in a couple of ways. One is just try to notice what you're doing at any given time. And that can be what you see, what you hear, what you physically touch, like your feet on the ground or your clothes on your back. Also what you taste and what you smell. But to do that well, we need to practice, because the mind is very powerfully automatic. We knee-jerk react to things a lot. So the practice we do is a form of sitting with our eyes closed, deliberately trying to notice things, and I'm just going to guide you on that just now. So if you can find a seat and just sit comfortably with your feet flat on the floor, hip width apart. Have the small of your back in against the back of your chair if you can, and your back nice and upright, feeling strong, feeling alert, and one hand on top of the other, thumbs gently touching, placed in your lap. Position sort of like that. And if that feels a bit uncomfortable, just put your hands in your lap in a way that suits you. Similarly, if you suffer from backache or any other sort of form of chronic pain, just adjust what I've said to suit yourself to be as comfortable as possible. Now just gently dip your head and close your eyes, just lightly. Again, if you suffer from sort of anxiety or issues like that, or feel uncomfortable with your eyes closed, just keep them gently, lightly open. But it's more effective with the eyes closed. So first thing I'd like you to do is, if you can very gently, quietly, start to look inside at your own mind. Keep your attention light and relaxed. This isn't a chore. And see if you can notice, what's my mind like right now? And your mind can be really one of two things. It can have an overriding state, so you can be feeling annoyed, you can be feeling tired, you can be feeling weary or worried, or you can be feeling calm, content, quiet, peaceful. And it doesn't really matter what you're feeling. What matters is that you're noticing it. This is you being mindful. You're noticing what's actually going on in the present moment. You're not judging it, you're not caring about it, you're just noticing it. And it so happens that I've asked you to look at your mind to start with. It could have been something else. The other thing that the mind could, of course, contain is thoughts, ideas, reactions. So you might be thinking, this is weird. You might be thinking, I'm hungry, I need something to eat. And again, if you notice that that's on your mind, just notice that. Don't try and do anything about it. We're just practicing being aware. And just keep your attention there and see if you can make your attention even lighter and lighter and lighter, so that there's no effort involved in you maintaining this attention. And because it's very light, it becomes very, very clear. So you're able to notice better. Now take your attention just gently and lightly to your eyes with the lids closed, and see if you can notice how they feel right now. Your eyes are a part of the body that really work hard all the time, looking at a distance, looking close up, checking things out to your left, your right, up, down. So the eyes can get quite dried, quite sore, quite tired, a bit weary, usually without us knowing until we think, oh, I'm a bit tired here. So just see if you can notice. Right now, how are my eyes? How do they feel? And the eyes might be alert, might be fresh. It depends what time of day you're doing this, what you've been doing. And so having been mindful in terms of noticing how our eyes are, we can then start to do something about it. And this goes for anything that you notice when you're doing mindfulness. First of all, you notice, and then you decide, do I want to do something about this? So with the eyes, for example, you can just gently move the eyeballs to the left or to the right without moving the head, and to the left again, and to the right again. You can find sometimes that tends to loosen the eyes up, so it makes them feel a wee bit better. And then also we can use the mind. The mind is incredibly powerful at affecting the body and affecting obviously our state of mind. So you can imagine with your mind that your eyes become softer, become more rested. And even those words, soft and rest, can influence the eyes, and they feel better sometimes, just use of words. But when we say rest, we don't mean rest in a tired way. We mean rest as in they feel restored now, they feel refreshed, almost as if the intention of your mind soothes the eyes, bathes them, so that they feel alert again and comfortable again. And then take the attention down to your jawbone and just relax that muscle. And with it, the muscles of your mouth and your tongue as well. You may feel that you need to swallow saliva at this point just because it bursts out when you've relaxed the muscles. But when we relax the muscles of our face, we can better notice the air touching the skin in our face. And when we notice that, most of the time, whether it's cool or warm, it feels pleasant to the skin, like a wee tingle or a tickle. And so you just notice it and enjoy it. And be aware of this remarkably personal and private interaction between your face and the world outside you. Regardless of where you are or what you're doing, you're in this very intimate connection with the world through the air that flows over you all the time. Now take your attention to your breath. So just normal breathing, just don't change what you've been doing, but just start to notice. Allow your attention to gently go to the tip of the nostrils, just inside the nose. And as you breathe in and breathe out, just be aware of how that feels. That's physical touch. That's the air touching your body just inside your nose. And as you do that, start to notice the difference between an in-breath and an out-breath. The in-breath's cool, it's fresh, it's quite strong. And the out-breath is warm and peaceful. Now, if your mind gets distracted at any time, that's okay. That's what the mind does. So just notice that it's wandered somewhere, what it was, and just gently let it go and take your attention back to the breath. And it doesn't matter if you have to do that 20 times in this session. You just notice, let it go, back to the breath. So just follow the breath now in silence for the next 2 or 3 minutes. And to strengthen certain good qualities of mind, as you're focusing on the breath, you can take the sensations of the breath, so the coolness and the freshness of the in-breath, and that warm peacefulness of the out-breath. And you can think to yourself, breathing in, my mind feels clear. And breathing out, it feels very quiet and peaceful. Breathing in, my mind is clear, perfectly clear. Breathing out, it's at peace. It's completely at peace. You can abbreviate it to single words. Clear is the in-breath. Peaceful with the out-breath. Clear, peaceful. Just again for a minute or two in silence. See if you can imagine in your mind clear. It's vast, it's empty, and it's perfectly clear, and any problems, any worries, any fears are just like little specks. They're almost not there in this vast, clear mind. And as you breathe out, notice just how tranquil and peaceful that is. Then drop the images and drop the words, and all that's left is this perfectly effortless, clear attention, noticing the breath. And it's as if the attention has merged with the breath and the air, as if the two things have become the one thing. It's as if it's the attention that's flowing in through your nose and filling your lungs, and as if it's flowing back out. Just for the last minute, perfectly light, clear, attention flowing in and out. Now take your attention from the breath and just take it to your toes and notice how your toes feel. They're probably a wee bit stiff, a wee bit numb, so very gently and lightly you can start to loosen them. And as you do, that brings in the balls of the feet and the heels. You're probably able to notice the soles of your feet and the insteps as you move. And the Achilles tendons will want to loosen at the back and stretch. Then you might want to gently lift one foot at a time and loosen the ankles, all the time still being mindful. You're noticing exactly how that feels at that moment. And when you put your feet back down, you can become aware and relax your calves. And just ignore the noise. There's a plane going overhead. It's just a distraction. Notice it, let it go, and back to loosening the calves and the knees. And then just allow the long, strong muscles of your upper legs just to rest into the chair, so that your legs, your knees, your calves, your ankles, your feet, your toes are all loosened up. Then take your attention to your fingertips, tips of your thumbs, and first of all just notice that sense of touch. And then the fingers will start to want to loosen up, stretch or flex, and then become aware of the palms of your hands, the back of your hands, and they start to loosen. And then the wrists will want to loosen up too. So you can just relax them, and then the forearms to the elbows and the upper arms to the edge of the shoulders, so that the arms, the elbows, the wrists, the hands, the fingers, the thumbs, they all start to loosen up and relax. Then take your attention to the muscles at the small of the back and just rest them backwards to the back of the chair, followed by the long, strong muscles of your upper back. They can rest back too. And the shoulders can drop down with the shoulder blades and just sit forward or backwards, whatever suits you. Now to your neck, and be careful with your neck. When it gets sitting still for a wee while, it gets stiff. So just gently start to loosen your neck. I tend to move round in a circle, and if you come across any area that's tight or achy, just bypass it, just miss it out completely. You might find that as you go round a second or a third time, that loosens up the sore parts by movements in the opposite direction. And you can finish loosening the neck by gently turning it to one side, just to where it begins to tighten. Hold it there for 1-2 seconds. Just gently, carefully, lightly back to the center, and then keep it going in the opposite direction. And hold it there where it just tightens. And then lightly, carefully back to center. Then finally to your eyelids. And taking 2 or 3 minutes, there's no rush. But when they're ready, and in their own time, just allow yourself to find your eyelids very, very gently, very slowly, and very gradually start to open. And as they do, keep your eyes downward gazed and unfocused. Your eyes will know when they want to return to focus, so just trust them to do it in their own time. And once they've done that, just sit quietly for another minute or two. Give your mind and your body a chance to catch up as well. So don't rush this, just take your time, it's really peaceful. So when you're out, just take the time to reflect on what that felt like. Give your mind some more breathing space. And then when you're ready, you can just go on with whatever it is next that you want to do. I hope you found that useful. Hope you found it helpful and enjoyable. Don't worry if your mind was racing all over the place. It sometimes does that. That's a good thing to learn and to see how the mind works. And that ultimately is what mindfulness is all about. You understanding your own mind, the good of it, the bad of it, and come to accept the negatives and let it go. Through this constant practice of being aware, letting go. And through that, in the long run, you'll find yourself being clearer in your thinking, more in control of your reactions and your feelings, calmer when you need to be, and more content and more thoughtful and compassionate towards others. So again, it's been my pleasure doing this, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.